And once again, 2 days in a row, we're coming to you live from our top secret broadcasting bunker at Area 52, just outside of Tracy, Minnesota. Minnesota, that's an Indian term for an 8-ounce Coca-Cola. It's a little bitty one. Good to be with you again today. I've been putting all my labor, my effort, my time, my thinking into the newest Watchman broadcast, which you haven't seen yet because it's new, and I'm still working on it. And I'm trying to be thorough, extensive, and so on and so on. It's going to be on the comic book con, which means fraud. The whole superhero myth legend thing is just setting everybody up. And this is coming from somebody who, I loved comic books growing up. And it took me a while. Even after I got married, it took me a while to grow up. And I remember the day finally. I had this comic book collection since I was a kid. And my wife talked me into putting it into a yard sale. That was the time to grow up. Kind of wish now I had some of those back. But anyway, I've been working on that, and I was just kind of looking around today at Drudge Report and the news and everything like that. It seems like a slow news day. So I've asked for help today on topics and ideas, and some people have sent in some good things. We're going to be talking about that. But one of the things that's been on my mind the last few days is this fire out in, where is it, out in Arizona somewhere. Terrible, terrible thing happening out there with 19 firefighters losing their lives. The community grieved the loss of 19 firefighters who died Sunday fighting the Yarnell Hill fire. The daily blaze continued to rage out of control. As of 9:30 p.m. Monday, it had grown to 8,400 acres and remained 0% contained. About 500 firefighters were battling the blaze, with more expected to join Tuesday. Mother Nature did not cooperate, and there's a reason why. She doesn't exist. Adverse weather conditions forced state incident management officials to call off air support from about 5 p.m. through Monday evening. Officials feared the monsoon activity could cause erratic winds that would make the fire unpredictable and difficult to fight. The city of Prescott on Monday has also released the names of the 19 firefighters killed a few hours after a somber caravan carried their bodies to Phoenix. All 19 men were members of the Granite Mountain Hotshots, an elite firefighting team employed at the Prescott Fire Department. One other Granite Mountain firefighter was away from the group at the time. 14 of the men were in their 20s. And before I say anything else about this story, pray for their families. I'm serious. Pray for their families. Some of these guys probably have wives and young children, and they are dead. And I'll just say this way. My heart always goes out to people that will risk their life for the sake and the benefit of other people, be it soldiers, firemen, policemen, EMTs, or whoever. People that will risk their lives to save others. People came, crawled under my house, and rescued me. And that means a lot. And we had a guy come into church Sunday night after the service. And, of course, we went into protective mode. We didn't know who the guy was. Come to find out, he had attended our God's Gun and Liberty conference and was inquiring about Pastor Reg's ammo factory he was starting up. And I just kind of looking at him a little bit, and I just had this feeling. You can tell these guys. I said, "Did you serve your country?" And he said, "Yes, I did." I said, "Thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate you serving your country." These people, a greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friend. And here you have 19 men who volunteered to go in and risk their life, and they lost their life for the sake and the benefit of other people. And I think that is honorable. I think a sacrificial death of someone who is giving their life over for somebody else, I think that's to be honored. After all, that's what our Savior did for us. But aside from that, we were just talking yesterday about what happens when God's people or a nation will look at God right in the eye and spit in His face and say, your laws mean nothing to us. Absolutely nothing. We will be sodomites. We will endorse sodomy. We will go along with it. And I'm going to throw something else in here, and I've talked about this before, and you probably are aware of it. You don't have to be a sodomite to be guilty of what sodomy represents. Let me explain myself. In Romans chapter 1, the Bible's talking about in verse 26, for this cause God gave them up unto vile affections. For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. Likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman. See, it's nature. They're not born this way. There is a natural use that a man has for a woman and a woman has for a man. It is unnatural for it to be anything else. Even in the world that we live in and the occupations that many of us have, we understand this. If you have a bolt, it takes a wrench. You can't use a bolt to tighten another bolt. It takes a wrench. And if you have, I'm using headphones today. Well, at the end of this headphone, there's a little 1/8-inch jack. That 1/8-inch jack does not plug into another 1/8-inch jack. See, it just makes sense, doesn't it? And I mean, we've encountered this before. You're trying to hook something up, and all of a sudden you've got what they call a female end and a male end. You got two female ends, and you're going, I can't make this work. That's because it's against nature. It's not designed to work that way. Plumbers know this. Electricians know this. For some reason, nobody else in America realizes it. So it's the natural use. Men also, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust one toward another. Burned. That's an interesting word, God. Burned in their lust one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error, which was meet. And so even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind, to do those things which are not convenient. And it's not convenient. So then he says, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of God, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection. Think about that. They have an affection. Oh, they love each other. That's what you hear everybody say. Well, these are two people that love each other. It's none of our business. But it's not a natural affection. It's not. I mean, to a majority of normal people, I've never looked at another man and said, I think I'd like to be with him. I've never done that. It is not natural. And so he said, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful. And then here it is, who knowing the judgment of God, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. So everybody that are not sodomites, and yet they are endorsing sodomy, sodomite marriage. This two people love each other, leave them alone. One lady was conversing with me by email, and she said, I've just had it. I walked down to the bus stop with my child, and I get attacked by all these other mothers when I say something about, gay people or something like that, and they're just coming out, what are you, bigot? You hate people. That's all you Christians do. They just come out against her. She said, I'm afraid to go down to the bus stop anymore. And likewise, other things, I won't even talk about them, but when you endorse it or find pleasure in them, that means watching the sitcom with gay people in it, sodomites, and laughing at it. You ought not do that. And so there is a judgment of God coming. We've been talking about that, and we referenced Isaiah chapter 13 yesterday, and I'm not going to cover that again. But how did Sodom turn out? It was burnt to ashes. And is it, and you have to ask yourself the question, I mean, this is a reasonable question. Is this massive wildfire going on in this country just a coincidental event that just happens to fall at this time when our nation's Supreme Court says, "Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law"? In essence, that's what they were saying, which is a quote from Crowley, I think, Satanic Bible, something like that. "Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law." And that's what the Supreme Court said. So is it coincidental? And I don't think it is. So go read Genesis 19. Go read Isaiah 13. God said, "I'll turn the land into Sodom." Just like Sodom was. You see how it didn't work out too well for Sodom? It's not going to work out well for you, and it's not working out well for America. And I don't know when America's going to wake up, if ever. But our hearts and our condolences and our prayers go to the families and the people in around Prescott, Arizona, and other places that are losing their homes, losing their loved ones. Pray for these people. Poor Michelle. Poor Michelle Obama is living in prison. She's got it bad, man. I mean, she's got it bad. First Lady Michelle Obama on Tuesday described living in the White House as like being in a really nice prison. That was a quote. Obama's comment came during her discussion with former First Lady Laura Bush at the African First Ladies Summit in Tanzania during an interview moderated by journalist Cokie Roberts. Roberts noted that Martha Washington, the first Lady, also described living in the role as akin to being a state prisoner. Obama said she loved her job and found it liberating in some respects, but confining in others. There are some prison elements to it, but it's a really nice prison. Michelle Obama added, "You can't complain, but there is definitely elements that are confining." Boy, I feel sorry for her. I really, boy, my heart just goes out to poor First Lady Michelle. Let's see, somebody sent me this. Science fiction becoming reality. BioZoom's, there's a company called BioZoom. Scientific team has created the world's only portable handheld device that anyone can use to measure biomarkers in the human body. Do you remember Star Trek? He had a little thing in his hand. "He's dead, Jim. He's dead. Jim, he's dead. He's Jim, he's dead." And these things were cool. You just go, and you find out, he's got an ulcer. Well, you got to fix the ulcer. His arm's broke. You got to fix that. Well, they're working on that technology right now. BioZoom scientific team has created the world's only portable handheld device that anyone can use to measure biomarkers in the human body. This cutting-edge, clinically validated technology makes real-time biofeedback a driving force in the multi-billion-dollar health and